everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do 10 tips for surviving life with a newborn baby. My son Finn is 3 weeks old tomorrow and we've officially survived our first couple of weeks as new parents. So here are a few tips of practical advice of things you can prepare beforehand, and also just some recommendations for making life easier when you bring your brand new baby home. So my first tip is don't go out. Those first 2 weeks are precious, where you can stay in your bubble at home. Finn was actually born in February, so it was really cold and snowy outside, and we decided that we were just going to stay in for the first 2 weeks. I actually read this in Clemmy Hooper's How to Grow a Baby and Push It Out, that for the first 2 weeks after having her twins, she didn't leave her bed. We did leave our bed, we got up every day, but it just meant that we could stay in, people could come to us. We limited it to family in the first 2 weeks. Let them come round, we drank cups of tea and we got to know our baby, which was amazing, and we'll never get that time back again. Number 2 is get ready every day. So Clemmy said in her book that she just stayed in pyjamas. We did, but we just made sure that we woke up every day and gave each other a little bit of time to go for a shower. I put a little bit of makeup on, and even if it just meant that we put clean pyjamas on, it just broke up the day a little bit and gave us a bit of structure so that days and nights weren't merging into one, especially when he wasn't sleeping in the first couple of days. It just makes you feel a little bit more human. Tip 3 is to batch cook food. So before Finn was born, I was lucky enough to be on maternity leave for about 4 weeks because I was overdue, and in that time I made cottage pie, shepherd's pie, spaghetti bolognese, and portioned them up into individual Tupperwares that I just bought from Aldi and popped them in the freezer. What we also did, and were lucky enough to have, was my mother-in-law, who batch cooked industrial amounts of scouse, meatballs, chicken soup, and brought them round with them whenever they came round. I would also advise to buy some really nice biscuits and some really nice coffee. We have a cafetiere and it was never stopped being out of use in those first 2 weeks. So just make sure that you've got something in your freezer so you don't have to pop to the shops with a newborn baby, and you can stay in and just enjoy a bit of comfort food and a bit of TLC. Number 4 is get a full night's sleep. I understand if you're breastfeeding this might be more difficult, but for us, formula feeding, on the second day we were lucky enough to have Paul's mum come round and sit with Finn for the night so we could get a full night's sleep. If you've seen my birth and delivery story, you'll know that we had a 4-day labour where we didn't sleep for 4 days, so we weren't in any fit state to be looking after a newborn baby, and having that first night where we could just have a full night's sleep was so amazingly helpful and meant that we could recover faster and we were better parents the next day. We've since done it with my mum, where we've gone to stay at my mum's house and she's looked after him in her room for the night, and grandparents really love it, and it just means that you can feel refreshed and replenished and like a much better, more patient parent afterwards. So if you have the luxury of having someone who wants to do that for you, take it, because it really does make a massive difference. My next tip is to invest in some nice loungewear. So the chances are for the first 2 weeks you're not going to be leaving the house, so the best thing that you can do for yourself is to buy some really comfortable, lovely loungewear as a little treat so that you can feel the most comfortable that you can possibly feel after having a baby. The chances are your stomach still be going down, your body won't be back to normal, you'll be bleeding, you'll have loads of other things happening to you and to recover from, especially if you've had a cesarean. So make sure you get yourself some really lovely comfy clothes, and don't worry about spending a little bit more money on them because you deserve it. You've just pushed out a little tiny human. My next tip is to accept and embrace the chaos. For the first night after we came home, Finn decided that he didn't want to go to sleep. The surroundings were new and unfamiliar to him, and he stayed up all night. So what we did is we got a duvet downstairs on the sofa, we watched films, we took it in 2-hour shifts and made sure that we each got some rest, and just embraced the fact that he wasn't going to sleep that night, rather than desperately trying to get him to sleep and getting ourselves all stressed out about it. My next tip is to plan ahead. So this is a really good practical tip. I created changing stations in all of our rooms, so one in the living room, one in his room and one in our bedroom, which were literally just big boxes that I filled with nappies and wipes and nappy bags and creams and all the things that we would need to change a newborn. I also bought a separate changing mat for downstairs, and that just means that we're not running up and down the stairs all the time when we have to change him, and 80% of the time we do change him downstairs, so I found that really useful. The next tip is to take some time for you two. So when we went to register the birth, which you have to do within the first 6 weeks I think, We had my mum come round to look after Finn, and we actually took the time out to go for lunch and have a glass of champagne to celebrate his arrival, and also to talk through the birth and how we felt about our first couple of weeks as parents. It's the most traumatic event that you ever go through, but you don't really get time to yourself to talk about it and actually think about how you feel about it and how your partner feels. So having that time to chat through that was really useful, and just have a little bit of a moment to get back to you two and reflect on the things that have happened in the last couple of weeks. My next tip is don't get hung up on routine. So don't expect in the first 2 weeks that your baby's going to be sleeping through the night. We're incredibly lucky that Finn goes to bed after his last feed about 9:30 and sleeps through till about 4 o'clock. He wakes up for a feed and then sleeps right through till about 7:30. But don't worry about this happening in the first couple of weeks. We literally just followed what he liked to do, how much he liked to eat, when he liked to eat, when he wanted to sleep, and just went with it for the first couple of weeks. And your baby will find his own natural rhythm. He's brand new and getting to know you and the world as well, so the chances are that you're not going to be able to do a bath, bottle and bed routine straight away, and that's okay. My last tip is to take loads of pictures. So Finn's 3 weeks now and he already looks completely different, and he's already put on 2 pounds. So make sure that you take a picture every day. You can get apps like Baby Pictures or Baby Plus that prompt you to take a picture every day, and also prompt you to take pictures when you have milestones like coming home from the hospital for the first time or going out on a walk as a family for the first time. So just make sure that you document every single moment. So there are my 10 tips for surviving your first few weeks as a newborn. The biggest piece of advice that I can give you is that nobody can look after your baby better than you can. Everyone says that you'll just know what to do when he gets it, and that's really true. I worried about him being too hot or too cold and how I would know, but you just know you're the best person to look after your baby, and your intuition is better than everybody else's. So that's it, guys. If you want to see any other videos, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to see more mummy videos. I also have my pregnancy diary videos, which I'll link below for you to catch up on and get to know baby Finn. I will see you very soon, and have a lovely day.